Hi, this is Greg with Northern Audio, and today I just wanted to give everybody a quick update of what's new at Northern Audio. We've made a lot of changes, a lot of cool things to see here, so I figured I'd give a quick little update, a run through of what that all is. So, first stop, we have, if you haven't seen the La Scala's AL6, we did a video on that, but they're fairly new here. Bigger news at the moment, we now became a Nottingham table dealer. If you haven't heard of Nottingham, definitely check them out. They are from England, as the name would suggest. If you looking at their tables, check out the Analogue. That is their flagship table. Very cool story about that. We'll cover that in another video, but we are now a Nottingham turntable dealer. Sounds wonderful. Stop in and see those. We have that hooked up to the La Scalas. So you can hear that. Speaking of vinyl, down here we certainly put together a nice little spread of phono sections. We have quite a few now that we weren't carrying before. We do have the Mala Mala in stock, but we also have the PW1 Grim. We also pulled out the Line Magnetic. Pound for pound, this may be one of the best bang for the buck phono stages out there. Certainly can come here these. We have the Analog, and then also, as you can see in the back, we have Bob's Devices, quite a few transformers up here now that you can try with different phono sections. So we have that set up for you. Also on here too, just a quick little note, we brought out the Phasmation phono cart. This is the PP500. This is a knockout phono cartridge. So we have that hooked up to the Space Deck. Definitely, if you're stopping in here, that guy. Also new, some even bigger news. And when I say bigger, I mean physically bigger. Nottingham table again. This right here is the Space 294. This guy right here, we actually have a couple of the upgrades. You have the Wave Mechanic, which we'll get a little more detail into that, but that is basically a speed control box. Quick little side note, this works with any AC synchronous motor. Let me repeat that. Any AC synchronous motor. You can literally take this home and use this on your current turntable and get a speed control box. We'll go into that a little more in a different video. But this is the Space 294 deck. We also have the heavy kit for it. So it's 12-inch tone arm. Fantastic sound too. It certainly has that heavy sound. You get a less distortion whenever you have a 12-inch tone arm. So we have that on display to hear. Also, if you can see over here, we have the Rogue audio gear that we've brought out, and we have that hooked up to an RP5 and a stereo 100 amp. If you can see, we also have the Rogue Audio Phono stage. We pulled that out as well, and we're using that with the Nottingham turntable. So what that is driving, let's talk about that a little bit. We have the Revival Audio Atalante 7s on the floor. Wow. I mean, these quickly became my second favorite speaker in the store. I can't believe what a huge difference and upgrade these are over the 5. So this is like a sound you have to hear to believe. Several times it's tricked me that I thought the Klipsch horns were on and it was these were on. So a couple of things that we're doing at the size of the soundstage, the width of the soundstage, it literally extends way beyond the left and right of the speaker. So there's certainly some cool technology employed. We're going to do a video on these speakers. We'll get into a little more of the detail on that. But then right next to it, speaking of big, we have the new Klipsch horns, the AK7s. Now, these are the guys that will allow you to use the external crossover. So we have this hooked up to the Luxman gear. It's a match made in heaven, always was. A lot of new technology that are employed in these. We're going to have a video on that as well, so check that out for a little more detail. So this room has quite a few changes, but come with me. I'll show you what's here in the front room here. As you can see, we have a little spread of some different speakers you may not have seen, including the Tribe speakers over there in the red on your way in. But then coming into this room, we tidied this room up a little bit. We don't have represented at the moment. I just need to unbox it, but we have the Hagel Viking back in stock. It's pound for pound one of the best CD players out there. As you can see, we brought in the RP3 in order to drive the ATC SCM40 active speakers. That's a wonderful, wonderful pairing. This particular preamp has a lot of steps of attenuation, so very fine control of the volume, plays very nicely on ATC speakers. Certainly come in and hear that. We also brought in the Acoustic, so we put this in this room so we can pull this out and move these a little further apart to give you a big sound stage should you want to hear that. We used these for the event that we had the tournament for, and which was a great time if you didn't see the video on that. And that day, we realized these speakers can certainly handle a much bigger room. So we pulled them and put them in this room, and they do quite well in here. So lots of cool stuff to see in this room. Lots of different combinations of equipment as well. And then we're also going to be putting on some new phono cartridges as well on the 1300, so stay tuned for that. And in the blue room, we have a couple changes here. We kind of tidied up over here, so we have a little more room for some bigger speakers. We brought in the Bison, these right here. Wonderful sound for a small box speaker if you have a smaller room but want to use a floor standing speaker. This is one of those kind of speakers that works in phase and time alignment, throws a huge sound stage. That being said, we have the ATC SCM20 active speakers, and then we have that paired with the ATC preamp. As always, we have the SOtM kit. If you remember, we had a video about this. This is what I personally use at home. It's one of the best sounding digital rigs out there. We have a full-blown SOtM setup that employs the master clock. You have a USB reclocker, the SOtM streamer. If you're familiar with SOtM, each piece can actually have modular upgrades to it. All of these pieces employ all of those upgrades. Then we also have the linear power supply. So that's a very, very, very cool sound. If you haven't heard that and you're in the area, stop through. If you want to hear digital at its finest, definitely come see us. And then lastly, the theater, as always, rocking, tuned, ready to go. So if you're in the business for theater and looking to do something in walls, we have that up here on display as well. So come see us, 3003 Babcock Boulevard. Lots going on, lots of fresh changes. We'll give you a great tour. It'll be a lot of fun. And thanks again for listening to the music.